As you can tell, I'm a big supporter of paper towels. And remember, when you're cooking, you always need to swap out your gloves or wash them. Do not let your gloves become dirty and stay dirty. I'm going to opt for swapping out gloves instead of washing them because I happen to have a plethora of spares. So, what I'm cooking tonight is tilapia. I normally am not a fan of fish, but because it is kind of late season, I figured, hey, why not? Why not cook fish? It's what Jesus ate. Well, maybe not tilapia, but he ate fish. So, just gotta find those paper towels. Recently, there we go. Change things around. So I found a really good looking recipe. Let me get this adjusted. There we go. So I found recently a really nice looking recipe for cooking tilapia. I've never really cooked fish before. I think the most fish I've dealt with is tuna. Really. So this is going to be interesting. Now, the directions say to make sure you dry off the fish. You do not want to have wet fish. That's no bueno. So we're just going to use the paper towels and pat it off. Just now I was rinsing them off because, oh no. Oh, that's not good. Because our refrigerator is crazy cold. It completely freezes stuff. Like, it's still really, really cold. I might have screwed up big time. I'm going to rinse this off. I'm going to see if I can fix this. Oh, thank goodness. The paper towel's coming right off. All right. Well, evidently I did not rinse off the fish good enough because it is still partially frozen, which happens. All right, there we go. We're going to, like I said, I am a big supporter of paper towels. By that I mean I buy a lot of paper towels and I use a lot of paper towels. Ergo, I support paper towels. If you don't like paper towels, then you're wrong. All right, so Now that we've got the fish all patted down and mostly dried up, we can start seasoning it. Now, I'm going to get a different container for seasoning. That way it's not all on the paper towels and making a mess. Which I'm really good at making messes. Iffy on cleaning them up. Remember, no shame in swapping out your gloves to stay clean and sanitary. Might also be a good idea to make sure all the seasonings are open. I just bought this basil, so it is not open yet. Is now, though. Ooh. All right. So, there we go. Alrighty, so I'm also a big supporter of foil because it's easier to clean up and it rhymes with oil. So we're going to take some foil right here. Funny story about foil, I thought it was only used for cooking. And when I was working at a gas station, sometimes people would buy foil and baking soda. I'm like, oh wow, they're really good chefs. And then I asked a cop, I'm like, hey, what if someone's buying, I don't know, a lot of foil and baking soda or baking powder? He just looked at me and smiled, laughed. Like, yeah, they're making drugs. Cool, I guess. One thing I don't like about gas stations, they are a cesspool of crime and villainy, supported by the company, because I got fired for chasing after too many thieves. Yeah, little weird. Little weird. Anyways, so for what we're doing, we are going to take some fresh gloves. And as far as the fish seasoning, we are going to use, according to the video that I saw a couple hours ago, we're going to take some salt, some pepper, some garlic powder, and basil and paprika. Now that is what I think a pretty tasty combination. And we're going to coat it all in olive oil. Olive oil is essential. You want to talk about real essential oils? Olive oil. That's the way to go. So, we're going to take the fish, plop it on over, and I'm going to have to re-rinse these because the paper towel's sticking to it. Alright, so let's focus on these first. I am right-handed, so I'm going to pour the seasoning with my left hand and lather it all with my right. And yes, I do like to use a decent amount of olive oil. It's tasty. And it adds a nice, I don't know. I feel like olive oil adds a really nice flavor to any dish you make, as far as cooking it on the stove or I don't know if it'll work very well on the grill. I'm not really much of a grilling person myself. I'm scared to operate the propane tank. I'm not retarded, but I'm not the smartest person, so I'll probably blow myself up. Alright, so now that we got the fish nice and lathered in olive oil, we're going to take some garlic powder. Just get a nice amount on there. Maybe I should have put a bit more forethought into this. Got a bigger container. Alright, so, garlic powder. This is all the first layer. And we're going to take some basil. That's looking good already. You know, if I were smart, I would figure out how to have multiple cameras set up on a YouTube stream. Unfortunately, I am not. Alright, so after we get the basil, then we're going to get our salt. And we can be a little generous because I don't know if you know this about fish, but fish taste awful. That's accidentally put a little bit too much salt on there. Well, put the other fish on top of it for that layer. There we go. We're sharing. Sharing is caring. Alright. Then some paprika. Alright. And finally, some black pepper, which over the years I have become extraordinarily fond of. I really enjoy black pepper. I was at a restaurant this morning and coated my breakfast in black pepper. A healthy, an unhealthy amount of black pepper. Alrighty. And sweet. Well, now that we got one side done, we can just go ahead, flip them over, and just do the same. Maybe we'll shake it up a bit, change up the order of the seasonings. I'm still not 100% certain if the order of seasonings really affects the overall flavor in any meaningful way. If anyone is cook savvy and can confirm if changing the seasoning order of operations changes the flavor, I would greatly appreciate it. Alright. Salt. And we're going to get some paprika. Okay, a little bit too much paprika on that one. It's fine. Little paprika never hurt anyone. Alright, then we're going to lather on some basil. This basil is quite based, actually. And finally, topping off with some garlic powder, which, truth be told, is probably my favorite seasoning. Alrighty, and there we go. We got the first set . I don't know if you guys like fish, me not so much. I don't really season my food much, but I think order of operations should be fine. Maybe it's the amount of each. Yeah, oh yeah, definitely how much seasoning you use. Definitely impacts the flavor. Alright, so it's always good to make sure to try and massage the seasonings in. That's why we put the oil on first to help make sure the seasonings stick. Alright, and that's all done for that. So I'm going to get a second container, and that way I can finish off the fish. That way I may finish flavoring the fish fillet. I love alliterations. Get another container. Oh, that's the wrong size container. What? What? Alright. The container doesn't really matter so much. You can have a I don't even know what you call this, a square bowl. Or you can have the pizza pan. It really doesn't matter. Just as long as it's able to contain your food while you see then appearance isn't everything until you get to the final product. Then appearance is slightly important. But that begs the question, what is more important to you? Is it flavor or appearance? Because if something looks delicious and appetizing but tastes abhorrent, is it really good? But if something looks like baby poop but is the most delicious thing you've ever had, how does that factor into the equation on one's enjoyability of delectables? So, like I said, I need to rinse off this fish again because my refrigerator is way too cold and the paper towels froze to the fish. Fantastic. So I'm going to take this tray. Oh wait, no, I can't even do that because I have to pry the fish off. Ugh. But first, make sure to wash your hands. I don't know how many of you need to know this, but the proper way to wash your hands is to scrub vigorously for at least 20 seconds. My girlfriend does not scrub her hands properly, and it drives me crazy. So, yes, be sure when you wash your hands, scrub vigorously. Be sure to clean your wrists, too, because some people don't, and you don't really realize how many germs are on your wrists. All right. So, like I said, wash your hands. Make sure they are nice and clean, especially if you're about to put on some new gloves. Last thing you want is to put dirty hands in clean gloves, which, you know, might be slightly better than clean hands in dirty gloves. How am I holding up? Way better than I was a year ago, and hello to you too. I am doing okay. Actually, no, I'm doing good. This time a year ago, I could not carry conversations for longer than a few minutes. I could barely stand on my own. I could barely cook on my own. I couldn't drive. My vision was messed up. And yeah, you know what? Compared to a year ago, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you. How are you doing? See about getting some music going in the background again. How do you feel about Transformers Cyber World? Not for me. Actually, I was going to upload a full video about what's going on in life, but I am quitting Transformers. I mean, not like I had ever official ties with Transformers, but 2025 is the end of Transformers for me. It's been a decent run, but it's time to end it. I'm done. The hard part now is trying to sell my entire collection because it's a lot. It's a monumental undertaking. I see you got the lazy eye like lazy eyebrow. I mean, I might have a lazy eye. When I had my surgery, the muscles in my eyes became uncoordinated. So there's some slight, like looking left and right, it's a little weird. My vision also slightly narrowed, so that's fun. My peripheral isn't as great, but it's all right. Happy to hear you're doing better. Hope things keep going well. Oh, thank you. Oh yeah, to answer your question about Cyber World, it's not for me. That's all I gotta say. Looks good for kids, I guess. Alright, so I'm stepping off the camera because I need to rinse this fish off. Like I said, it froze to the paper towels, which is kind of funny. I will say though, it doesn't really smell that bad. I was expecting this to smell way worse. I don't like the smell of fish. So, ugh. On second thought, never mind. Ugh, it's starting to smell fishy now that it's thawing out. Goodness gracious. Yeah, the paper towels are stuck to the fish. So, I guess make sure your fish is properly thawed before you start getting it ready to cook. Alright, that ought to do it. Now, again, you want to make sure you get all the water off your fish because water and oil do not mix. Just ask the EPA and BP. I will miss your Shattered Glass Transformer stuff, but again, I respect your choices. Oh, thank you. Same, it's best to do what's best for one's life. Yeah, it's been hard, honestly. Whereas many people in my family turned to drugs and alcohol, I turned to plastic robots for my addiction. And it's bad. Earlier today, I was trying to go through my collection to get it ready to sell, and every time I'm in the room that I keep my collection in, eventually it feels like the room is spinning, or like my head is spinning. So I don't know if that's a side effect of like over visual stimulation after the surgeries, or if there is something really messed up with me besides that. Besides a brain tumor. So, there is a flea market about 30 some odd miles away. I'm thinking next month or so I can go there, sell my stuff, and then try and post stuff online. Because right now I'm trying to get stuff organized. Let's just say I wish I could just pay someone else to do it. That would be kind of nice. Like, hey, come over here, clean up this crap and sell it. Give you a portion of the profit. Yeah, okay, so this live stream isn't about Transformers. Transformers aren't everything. So now that we got the fish patted down, let's a little bit more. Ew, yeah. I might have lied. I might have not gotten this fish all dried off. Alright, so now we're going to make sure that we get most of the water off. Are you... As far as voice acting, I will continue to do voice work for primetime animations. So I started filming a video that fully explained this situation, but work got busy, so I didn't finish editing it yet. And there's some key points in the video that are quite important, and I feel like saying them on a stream probably, I don't know, maybe not the wisest decision, but yes, I will continue to voice act for primetime animations. He is a friend. He is a friend. He's a good guy, so I trust he won't have my character say anything too explicit. And we've already come to an understanding like, hey, I'm a Christian, so there's some things I'm not going to say, and there's some things, sometimes I will try and change the script a little, like if he has something written down, sometimes I will slightly change it to make it more appropriate, kind of. But yeah. Alright, so again with the fish, since this is a cooking stream, not a Transformer stream, we're going to again lather on the olive oil. Now, if you can't afford olive oil, work more hours. It's worth it. Olive oil is worth it. Canola oil, that stuff is made from rape seed. Rape. It's what they put in French fries. Alright, so there we go. Now we got the fish properly oiled up, which is why we keep going to war. Remember, people have died for your right to have olive oil. Hello there. How's it going, Alex? Alrighty, so now that we've put America's favorite sauce on, we're going to now get some salt. And for my fellow Christians out there, remember to be the salt of the earth. It makes everything delicious, even disgusting fish. So we're going to add some salt. We're going to put a very unhealthy, we're going to put an American amount of salt on. And like I said before with the black pepper, you want a nice coating of it. If you're like my older brother, he would say something like, make sure to get a black pepper grinder. That's where you get the best tasting pepper. I mean, sure, I guess, but pepper's pepper. Also, I don't want to touch my pepper shaker with my oily fish hand. Alright, now we're going to add some paprika. And we're going to put a nice coating on there. And some basil. Personally, I prefer parsley, but the directions said to use basil, so that's what we're going with. We're following the rules. And some garlic powder, which is my favorite seasoning. I don't care what you say. Garlic is amazing. It's fantastic. Actually, there is a Chinese restaurant that opened up 4 blocks from my house. I've been there once. I want to go again sometime. And they have garlic shrimp. They put garlic cloves. Like they chop up garlic cloves and throw it in the shrimp. Fantastic. No sarcasm included. That was sincere. It really is good. If you don't like garlic, then grow up. It's good for you. Message retracted. Not too bad. Just watching Jungle Book 60s. Been checking out a lot of older Disney films. Nice. Alright, so now that we got that side done, we're just going to repeat the process. Get a healthy amount of salt on there. And we're going to shake up the order of operations with the garlic powder, paprika, and pepper. I will say, as someone who's right-handed, it feels really weird to sprinkle my seasonings with my bad hand. How do you guys season your food? Do you use your dominant hand or do you use your steering wheel holding hand? All right. So now that we got this all properly seasoned, we may now go ahead and rub the seasoning in just to make sure that it stays in and the flavors can penetrate the meat. Phrasing. And to make sure that it has a nice savory flavor. So, we're going to let that sit there for a moment. I'm going to put up the seasoning. No need to keep it sitting out. Don't really use basil. I just bought that basil like an hour ago, so that goes up top. This neat idea my girlfriend has, keep seasoning on top of the stove. That's really handy for the seasoning that we use on a daily basis. So, smart thinking, put all your spare seasoning way up top and all your quick... I mean, we don't use salt every day. It's fish. Everyone knows fish tastes awful. If you like fish, you're very brave. And I respect you. Alright, so based on the video I saw, they said to put the stove on high. They also said to use cast iron. I do not own cast iron. It's my bad. Alright, going to see if I can get this in a better angle. That way you can see stove. Alright, is that better? There we go. Now we got the stove, and you don't have to see all of me. Alright, so I want to make sure that the stove... I don't know if you guys have an electric stove or a gas stove, but on the electric stove there's two settings. The small setting and the big setting. Since we're cooking multiple fish, we're going to need the big setting. And we're going to go ahead and bust out that olive oil again because I forgot to... Ooh. That's toasty already. Alright. Nothing wrong with a little extra oil. Oh, well, thank you, Keldeo. Sorry, I'm just now reading your message. Alright. So, bear in mind, people, I don't really know how to cook. I'm just kind of winging it. But that's okay. I would like for oil to be on that center part. Why isn't it going? There we go. is the wrong apron. Where's my apron? Alright, I am terribly sorry. I am trying to find my cooking apron. Whoops. No one saw that mess I made, right? Alright, it's always a good idea to wear an apron, especially when dealing with oil. Because if you're like me, you're a pansy and you don't want to burn yourself. Alright, let's get some more gloves real quick. You know what? Before there were gloves, there were tongs. Maybe, probably not. You see, what's great about tongs is they are like gloves, but offer you a further reach by about 8 inches. So, let's go ahead. Okay, you can't smell it, and neither can I, honestly. It doesn't really have a smell right now. So, the reason why I am a big supporter of foil is it makes cleaning your dishes so much easier, because you see all that mess in there? Look at that. Clean-ish. Clean enough. Oh, hello, puppy. Oh, hello, puppy. There we go. Now everyone can see my beautiful face while I stare at this burning pot of oil. You know what? I'm going to be real with you. I have no idea how long to cook this fish for. It just said to cook on high. I think they said until it looked brown. Alright, well, I'm going to get a plate. Yeah. I was going to get a paper plate, but I decided to go with stoneware. Alright. Now, Judge Casey's. No, I do not make enough money to eat organic. I think I had something organic a few years ago. No, actually, to my surprise, this tilapia is a product of China. Why does Texas get fish from China even though we have the Gulf of America? No idea. Is what it is. Alright, so, while we're waiting for that to finish browning, I have some cuts on my hand, and I am a bit of a pansy. A couple weeks ago, I went to cut a lime open, and I'm white, so when it's cold outside, my hands just start randomly bleeding. Really fun. I went to cut a lime open. Bad idea getting lime juice on open wounds. That might be done. So let's go ahead and guess it's I don't know, does that look done to you guys? I mean, people eat raw fish all the time. Bon appetit. Not bad. Smart idea using all the extra salt. Alright, that will be my plate. Oh no. So, funnily enough, I did not know this, but apparently the term dredging also applies to cooking. Which I think is a little funny. Unfortunately, I am not doing any dredging. I should, though. It would be ironic. Alright. Again, smart idea to use foil. Makes cleaning this pan less of a toil. This is your reminder to drink some water, because it's healthy for you. Look at you, scrolling down your YouTube Shorts feed. Man, I appreciate you stopping by. blabbering about earlier with the lime and my hands randomly bleeding in the winter, we are going to cut up some lemon. Alex Lemons, if you're still watching, I'm sorry. Smells wonderful. Alright, so the best way to actually chop up a lemon, I feel, is in quarters, but because we're making fancy fish, lemon slices.
9, 5, 6, 7, 5.
Don't know why people are calling me when I'm making a live stream. That's just rude. So we're going to take the lemons. And remember, when you're cutting, do not ever cut towards yourself. Do as I say, not as I do. Not gonna lie, does not have a real appealing aroma to it. So again, the best way to cut up a lemon is, you could do this fancy fold where you chop it up going along the lemon. My favorite way to cut it is, in fact, in quarters. So let me throw away the sticker. Now remember, do not ever cut towards yourself. Alright, now the reason why I like cutting lemons up in quarters is that way you can get it like this. And squeeze the lemon juice directly on top of whatever you want. It actually tastes good. So again, cutting lemons into quarters is my preferred method. And then for this fish that we just fried up, let's go ahead . Yeah, that actually looks pretty decent. Not trying to boast, but I think this was a good idea. Hopefully I don't burn this fish. Man, those are some sweet lemons. It's probably the sweetest lemon I've ever had. Alright. So, I might have accidentally overcooked the fish a little. The second batch is a little blackened, but I think that might just be the seasoning or the lemon juices being overcooked slightly. Only one way to find out. Let's take this extremely charred looking one. Very burnt. Yeah, on the inside though, look at that. That looks pretty tasty, I'll say. So, yeah, just overcooked the seasoning a little. That's fine. Let's get a taste test, shall we? You know, not bad. And that to my plate. You know, I don't know why I spent most of my life hating fish. That was pleasantly tasty. Maybe it's because I grew up poor and couldn't afford tilapia. It was $7. And that is how you make some extremely delicious tilapia. Again, remember, practice safe cutting. Do not cut towards yourself. That's a tasty lemon. I had no idea lemons could be so sweet. Little puppy. So, yeah. Thank you for watching. I guess you guys probably don't want to watch me eat. That's a little weird, even for me. And yeah. Don't know what I'm going to do with this channel. Probably... I don't know what I'm going to do with this channel. Maybe delete everything, maybe unlist everything, or maybe just leave it as is and come back to it in a matter of years. But for now, there's a couple of videos I'm definitely going to post soon. Just gotta get around to posting them. But anywho, I am going to enjoy this delicious, I'm not patting myself on the back or anything. I'm going to enjoy some delicious fish, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. May God bless you and protect you. And remember, Jesus loves you, and He died for your sins. And, yeah. Anyways, may God be with you. May He protect you. Adios. Now, how do you end this? There we go. Yes.